Hi, it's Jessie with Shine Yoga and Health. We had our friend Lou that couldn't get on to Zoom today, so we made this video for her where she didn't miss the class. But for any of you just tuning in, this is kind of what our circuit class is like. Consult with a doctor before starting any exercise program. Check in with your body frequently. Don't force poses. Build up slowly. By participating in this exercise program, you agree that you're doing so at your own risk, and you assume all responsibility for any injury to yourself and agree to discharge Shine from any and all responsibility. All right, let's do some circuits. So let's start with just marching in place. If you want to use your weights here, you can, but that's optional. We'll put the weights here, and then we'll lift our right leg and also our left arm, all right? And then bring them down. Left leg, right arm, and then just keep marching, and we'll do this for a minute, okay? If you need a break, take it. You're allowed to stop and breathe, and then jump back in. You kind of want to push until you need that break, and then take it and jump back in. Also, if you do this for a while and you're like, whew, these weights though, go ahead and put the weights down and then just jump in, keep going, all right? This is good for the brain. If you're at home struggling with lifting the opposite, know that we all do that in the beginning. You just make sure you get started right, and then it's easier to keep going opposite. Minute seems like a long time sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Depends on which exercise we're doing. And stop. Okay, so now we're going to do some push-ups. Now there's all kind of options for this. You can come to the wall and do your push-ups here. You can do it on a counter if you're at home, or on a table or a couch. So you got a little incline, so it's a little less hard. We can do it down on our knees, coming bending the elbows, coming back up, or on the toes. Whatever feels like good form to you and not painful. And go. Push-ups are hard. If you need that break after one, and you want to kind of sit back and take a break, and when you're ready, come back in, that's okay. Do them at your own pace, everything, all the time. We want to listen to our own body and honor it. And if it says, hey, 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 that's enough, you listen, all right? And then come back in when you feel like it says it's okay. And if you start one way and you're like, this is harder than I thought, I need to go to the wall, that's okay too. I've got a video on Shine, if you scroll through a little bit, with Jillian Michaels showing the correct push-up form. And we want to try and do that because it's better for the shoulders. And stop. There's our minute. Phew. All right. We're coming up. We're going to jog in place at the pace you like. Now, if you've got enough room in your house and you want to jog back and forth, you can. There's no rule that says you have to stay in place. If you think I'm jogging too slow, that's okay. You can pick up your pace and maybe make the knees a little higher to make it a little harder. Or if you're like, I'm dying with this jogging, just walk, all right? March in place. Which is an option for any of our cardio. If you're doing it and you're like, I don't know, just march in place. Moving counts. Running. anybody else had the Wii Fit, this always takes me right back there, running along with my little me, getting passed up by all the other me's. Trying to swing my arms harder so I get the points, right? And stop. There's a minute of that. We're going to come to tall kneeling and grab our weight. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me, but you don't have to. We're going to pick the weight up overhead. And so our elbows will be pointing toward the front of the room, and they'll be right by the ears. And then we just lower that weight and straighten it back up. That's how it looks from the side. All right? And go.
I know. Hey, can you believe this?
Lou finally got on.
I don't know what went wrong. What's that? Stop.
This is what's great about Zoom. We get a peek into each other's lives.
That's right.
Should we go check on Lou? Is something happening? The dog is very upset.
She didn't stop.
This is one of the exercises that a minute feels longer than a minute. And there it is. There's our minute. Hey, hey, hey. Up we go. Jumping rope. We can jump with both legs. We can alternate legs. We can march in place and twirl our rope. All right? And go. You can do a variation of all of them. If you're like, I'm going to jump big, and then you get tired, just go down to the next level. And then when you catch your breath, maybe you jump big again. They say intervals are really good for you with cardio, especially for like fat burning, because your body's having to adjust. It can't just autopilot it. And you're not going so hard that you get over to that anaerobic state. We're doing it.
Just watching for the moment. Parking at the FedEx truck that just drove by my house. Yes.
FedEx is very upsetting to small dogs. And stop. Okay. Now Leslie's favorite. We're gonna lie down, taking our weight, coming overhead, and really thinking about that upper back as we lift. We don't want it to just all be in the shoulders. We want to use that upper back and pull over and down and over. Leslie says she could do this all day, but we will still just do it a minute. Nice stretch in the upper back, and then we contract those muscles, and it feels so good. And stop. Hopping up for some cardio. cardio than strength and cardio. Let's do some skipping. All right, so if we're gonna do it in place, it is lift the left knee and the right arm and hop and switch and hop. And then we just kind of get in a rhythm. Or if you have room at home, you just skip around. Always okay to take the hop out. And always okay if you catch your breath and you want to put it back in, put it in. This one always kind of reminds me of Flashdance, where she's
Looks like she's dancing.
That's right. She's
That's what I'm doing.
Leslie's doing Flashdance for sure.
Yes.
Charlie's gonna run up behind her and pour a bucket of water on her head.
That would be lovely.
And stop. Okay, now some bicep curls. We're gonna do 30 seconds hammer curls, 30 seconds monkey curls. Hammer curls, our palms are facing each other. We bend and straighten. Go ahead and put one foot in front of the other so you don't swing. The elbow, upper arm stays right by the body, and the elbow's all we're really moving. And now the monkey curl. So for that, the palm will be facing us, and we almost do like a half a clock, right? Palm down, weight comes up by the chest to the shoulder, back around. All right, other side. And you can do this with weights. If it doesn't feel good, you can always put the weights down, all right? And stop. We put them down. And let's do some high knees. Just to the front, we pick them up, we tap them, right? And go. Now, if you're doing this and you're like, this wish it was a lot harder, you can always pick it up with a little hop and bring the knees high here, right? And then this is your other option. Both options are great. Take the one that feels best in your body. Or interval them back and forth. And stop. Coming down to plank. We're gonna go in a regular plank with our shoulders and hands lined up, buns down. Breathe. Draw the belly in. turn to a side plank. Go back to center, other side plank. Keep those hips up. And back down, and done with planks. We're gonna grab our weights, do our last circuit exercise. And it is squat to deadlift. So we got our weights, we stick our butt out for a squat, we come back up, stick the butt out, keeping the back flat, coming down, hinging at the hips for a deadlift, come back up. Squat and deadlift. Keep going, squat and deadlift. Make sure when you squat you can still see your toes. You're not shoving your knees out over your toes. That's hard on the knee. And then as you come down into your deadlift, make sure you're not rounding, but we're keeping those shoulders up and back and the tailbone pointing out behind us. And stop. We're going to take a minute here, move our weights out of the way, take a drink of water. If you are doing the circuit and you want to do it again, rewind and start over right here. And then we'll meet back on the mat for yoga in 1 minute.
So I have no clue what was going on with my computer.
Sometimes they're just finicky.
I was gonna say ornery.
Yeah. All right, so we are gonna start our yoga with a reclining butterfly. So we'll put the bottoms of the feet together and walk ourselves back into lying down on our back. And then kind of scoot the feet up closer to your body, letting the knees fall. And if you're using your iWatch and you did the circuit thing, now let's switch it to yoga. Close those rings, it's so satisfying. Now, if this is like too much of a stretch on your inner legs, you can always put a blanket or a couple pillows under you or blocks if you have them to kind of prop it and let it relax. Or you can just hang out there and let gravity do its thing. Let's put our hands on our belly for a second and just notice what happens in our belly as we breathe in and out. And if the movement's really small, that's okay, but maybe we deepen our breath a little bit and let the belly blow up a little bigger on the inhale. On the exhale, we hollow the belly, kind of pull the belly button in. Push the rest of that air out. Inhale, big belly. Exhale, hollow it out. And just keep going for a couple of breaths. And then we're gonna bring the knees together and straighten out the legs. And straighten the arms out overhead as long as that feels good in your shoulder. We're just gonna kind of do a good morning stretch. So stretch, really lengthening. And then release that stretch. We're gonna take our right knee and bring it up toward the chest. Single knee to chest or half limb elimination pose. While we're up here, we're gonna make a circle with that ankle on the right. And then reverse, go the other way. And straighten that leg. Pick up the other knee, bring it toward us. Circle the ankle. Reverse. And then we'll bring that other knee up, so we got both knees to the chest. I'm gonna rock side to side just a couple of times. And then we're gonna rock and roll our way to sitting. So I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see. We bring the legs overhead, and then using momentum, we kinda come up. You'll hold on behind your hamstrings. We'll just do a couple of these. 'Cause they're fun, and it massages your spine a little. Sometimes I even get a little pop in the spine, which as long as it doesn't hurt is okay. All right, this last one, we'll roll up to our easy seat. And then roll over the shins, come into our tabletop. So our tabletop, we just look like a table, right? And then we're gonna do a little cow and cat here. So inhale to cow, we lift the head, we tilt the tail up, and the belly comes toward the mat. Exhale, lowering the head, tucking the tail underneath. We arch up like a kitty. Inhale, head up, tilt the tail, belly comes down, sway back cow. Exhale, drop the head, tuck the tail, arch the back, Halloween kitty. Keep going. Inhale, cow.
Whoa.
Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. One more. And then back to tabletop. All right. So from here, we're going to do a little calf stretch. So we're going to take our left leg and put it out behind us, like so, and then just push back on it just a little so we get a stretch in that calf. And then we're going to pick that leg up and cross it over the right leg and kind of off the mat on the right. And then we're going to turn and look at it over the right shoulder. Back to center. Switch legs. Put that right leg back and turn the toes underneath. Shift our weight back just a little so we stretch that calf. And then pick it up, cross it over the left, and turn and look at it. And coming back to center. All right, so here we are going to come to sitting and do a bent knee stack. So our knees will be bent. We're going to have our hands with our fingers facing our behind, and they're going to be behind us a little bit, so it helps us sit up good and tall. Our bent knee staff. And then let's bring the feet a little closer and press up into a reverse table. So we want, squeeze those glutes and lift them up so that's even to like the knees and shoulders. If you can't do that, like if it hurts for some reason, just lifting the butt at all activates those same muscles. So just lift to where it's comfortable. But if you can get all the way up to tabletop and let your head come back as well so the whole spine's neutral, that's good. Lower it back down to our bent knee staff pose. And then we're gonna come onto our belly. I'm gonna take our hands and put them out like goalposts. So if I were on the floor here, my hands would be like this, alright? And then we're gonna take the right hand and slide it back to like shoulder height here, right where the elbow was. And then we'll bend the right knee and pick that right leg up and cross it over the body. We're kind of pushing with that right hand. Put the head down, the left side, the left cheek down to the ground, if that feels comfortable. And then just kind of let that leg keep coming a little farther across the body. Should be getting a good stretch in the front of the chest on the left. But not pain. If you feel pain, back out. Coming back to center, bringing that arm on the right, back down like our goalpost. Picking up the head, bringing that left hand back by the shoulder, under the elbow. Bend the left knee, pick it up, bring it across, and then let the head come down to the earth. If the leg comes all the way over and the toe touches, that's cool, but if it doesn't, that's okay too. As long as you're getting a little stretch. Some of you won't move very far at all before you feel a stretch. A lot of us are really tight in the pec muscles. Coming back to center. We are gonna come up to hands and knees and make our way to sitting, and then make our way to lying on our back with our knees bent. We're gonna press the feet into the floor and lift up in a bridge. So draw the belly button in, squeeze the glutes together, lifting up, kind of pressing in with the insides of the feet. And this, just like with the reverse table, if you lift about an inch off the ground and you're like, well, I don't think it's gonna feel good if I go any higher, that's okay. You just go where it feels good. We're still activating those muscles. And then we'll lower back down, release everything, draw on the belly, squeeze the buns, lift up to a bridge. And lowering the spine down like a spinal roll onto the ground, and then relax. And then we'll do one more. Draw on the belly, squeeze the buns, lift up our bridge. And the bridge is really good for the back and the glutes, which are so connected. And spinal roll back down. Now if you've got your block, I want you to grab it. And as we push up to a bridge, we're gonna slide the block underneath so that this flat wide part goes on the flat wide part of your tailbone. And it should be comfortable. So if you settle back down, it's not comfortable, kind of wiggle it around and adjust until you're like, well, that feels nice, because supported bridge is supposed to feel nice. And then let's bring both knees up. So we'll pick the feet up off the floor and the knees are up, and then we'll straighten the legs as far as it's comfortable for like a supported waterfall. comfortable for at least 5 minutes, right? So if you know holding your legs out straight is gonna hurt your back after a while, it's okay to bend them and kind of let them prop together and then relax there. Or to put a pillow or something under your knees. Alright? Are you gonna straighten them out, let the feet kind of flop out to the side. We're gonna put the palms up and kind of dig the elbows into the ground. That'll pop your shoulder blades underneath the body. Rock the head side to side just a couple of times. Make sure we let go of the tension in the neck. Tuck the chin a little, lengthening that cervical spine, the back of the neck. And then you can leave your eyes open and check out the ceiling. Find something to really focus on and just kind of hyper focus on it. Or you can close your eyes. Either way, we're gonna really relax into the ground and just notice all the places we make contact with the ground and how we kind of feel supported by that. And that allows us to relax a little more with each exhale. And we're just breathing naturally right now, but we're gonna start noticing it. How it feels in the body when we inhale, relaxing more into the ground on the exhale. Now we're going to start to deepen the breath a little, slow it down a little. Consciously changing it. As we inhale, that belly blows up. We think to ourselves in, and as we exhale, we hollow the belly, and we think to ourselves out. If you notice your mind has wandered from the breath, we can label it. If you were thinking or feeling, just label it. Don't judge yourself or be aggravated. Just gently guide your attention back to the breath. Inhale, big belly, thinking in. Exhale, hollow belly, thinking out. we're gonna take a big breath. Inhale. And exhale. Coming more awake. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Let's do another good morning stretch. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Point the toes. Stretch the fingers. Exhale. Oh, we're gonna bend our knees and roll onto our right side. Maybe stay here a second. Sometimes it just feels nice. And then we're gonna use both arms to push up as we lengthen out that top leg. So that as we sit up, it gives room for the spine. And we're gonna come into sitting. I'm gonna do a real quick quote and namaste, and then I'm gonna turn off the camera. So if you wanna stay in Shavasana longer, you could. Our quote today comes from Michelangelo. If people knew how hard I had to work to gain my mastery, it wouldn't seem wonderful at all. So don't be afraid of hard work.